Hey, welcome back to Midas Letter Live. My guest in this segment is Tyler Robson, CEO of Valens GroWorks Corp, and it trades on the CSE under the symbol VGW. Tyler, welcome back.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you closed a bought deal for $25 million.
We did, yeah. We closed just the other day.
Okay, tell me, how did that come about? What's the purpose? What are you going to use the funds for?
Yeah, I think the purpose is just for corporate expansion. I think it's kind of our coming out party. We're getting closer to legalization, and we've had a few offers for financing right now. We finally found the right one, so we took the bought deal. And it's for expansion. Yeah, we're going to get more into extraction, more into distillates, and more into refined products. And one big thing we're going to look at is beverages. We're being a little bit quiet about what we're doing behind the scenes, but at the end of every beverage, or the beginning of every beverage story, is an extraction. So we think we figured it out a little bit better than most people have.
So you've been focused on extraction since the get-go.
Yep.
But now you also are a licensed grower. Yep. So you can grow, you can extract, you can make beverages.
Yeah.
Have you had any conversations with any big beverage manufacturers?
We've been talking to a few, and I think the big thing that people are missing right now is the ability to extract in volume. So some of the beverage companies are starting to place phone calls and start kicking the tires of who we are and what we're doing. Obviously, we're not the big players like some of these other guys are, but I think we're still undervalued for what we are today.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's, I think, probably an attractive feature, is that you're still reasonably priced. You're not Tilray, which is, you know, circulating out there in the stratosphere.
For sure.
So what else has been happening with the company generally developmentally in the last couple of months?
Yeah, so we're basically laying out our international distribution plan right now. So we've signed a letter of intent in South America. We just signed one in Australia, and I think our shareholders can look forward to seeing what's coming in the European Union in the next foreseeable future.
And what is coming in the European Union?
I think, as everyone knows, that there's a massive opportunity over there, so we're looking at it. I can't touch on it too much more because we're still laying it out, but we will definitely have a footprint and a big what do I want to call it? Distribution plan, we'll call it.
Great. Is legalization in Europe progressing similarly to Canada at all in terms of recreational?
I wouldn't say it's recreational yet, but I think it's definitely happening medicinally. I think if we look at every country over there, they're going to implement a medical program in the near future. But right now, I don't think anyone's moving towards recreation like we are.
Okay. Run me through your capacity, again, your throughput capacity.
So our throughput capacity right now is 6,500 kilograms. We're in the process of getting it up to 12,000 kilograms. We've already placed orders for our next machines. And what's unique about us is we actually use different machines for different types of extraction. So we truly believe that it's a unique extraction process depending on the type of product you're going to, whether it's ethanol, subcritical, or supercritical CO2.
So when you say different processes for different products, you mean the micro CBD sort of spectrum?
Everything, every ancillary product. So we have a different direction to go to the downstream product, essentially. So we're not trying to make everything out of one type of extraction. We're very, very unique in that way.
And how do you see the economics working in terms of margin and cost of raw material?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a commodity. It's going to commoditize, prices are going to come down, and I think the farmers are going to be it's going to be tough for them to basically compete. Downstream, at the end of the day, this is a consumer product. You walk into a liquor store, you're buying brands, not hops or sugar cane. So I think really the value add is in extraction, post-processing, and then branded products.
I'm curious about some of the other sort of processes involved in making a beverage derived from cannabis. For example, we know that THC and CBDs, if left on the shelf, sort of deteriorate into other compounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so how do you stabilize THC and CBD in a product like a alcoholic beverage?
Yeah, so that's the magic question right now, and I truly don't think anyone has figured it out. We're getting very, very close to becoming a player in that sector. The big thing a lot of people don't realize, it has to be water soluble. So a lot of companies are making it an oil-based. That will separate in time, and like you said, it will change. You have to have a water soluble product that can bind with anything, and I think we're right there.
Okay, so there is nobody who's actually definitively solved that problem.
I personally don't believe so. I know depending on who you talk to, I'm sure there's a few guys that'll say they will.
Right.
I have not seen it, and I've been in the majority of major LPs already.
Okay, you said you were producing 6,500 and you're going to 12,000 kilograms. In what time frame are we talking?
End of October.
Okay,
yeah,
and
so
what, I'm more or less trying to get at, is that per month, per year?
Per month, yeah, per month. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we plan on having the largest extraction footprint in Canada, if not North America, in the foreseeable future.
Okay, so if you're doing 12,000 kilograms per month, how much end product is that yielding?
That's impossible to answer. At the end of the day, it's subjected to cannabinoid or THC profile. So if you have a 20% product, it's very different than extracting a 10% product. So it's almost impossible to answer that question until you know what's going into extraction.
So what's going in and what you're targeting coming out has a bearing on what you get.
Exactly, yeah.
So has there been an evolution in the marketplace yet where certain CBDs, micro CBDs, are developing a market or a value that's higher than others?
It is. It's starting to, and to be honest, it's very unique, and people are having a hard time separating different cannabinoids. But absolutely, as we move more into a pharmaceutical product or an ingredient for pharmaceutical products, that's going to become much more needed, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. Do you see this sort of becoming, in terms of extraction and consumer packaged goods, from where you stand, do you see it becoming more of a sort of large beverage and food group industry, or more of a pharmaceutical industry?
I think it's going to go down both avenues, essentially. I don't think you can pick one more than the other. I think if we look at the mature markets in the United States, California, Washington, Oregon, they've done a great job kind of showing us the path of what's happening. But at the end of the day, too, if you look at an international market, everything starts with a pharmaceutical or medical grade product. So I think there's two very different avenues coming.
So in terms of competition, is this something that somebody, like say a Coca-Cola, decided to get into the game and ramp up extraction and beverage production?
Yeah.
Is it something that a big company like that could easily do, or would they be more inclined, do you think, to talk to somebody who's already been doing it?
I think they'd have to be inclined, and if they weren't, I think they'd be selling themselves short. Extraction is extremely tough. I personally can't do it, but our team over at Valens is fantastic. Their efficiency rates are phenomenal. Their consistency is perfect. I think people getting into the space now are very far behind. Essentially, like you said, we've been focused on extraction since day one, and we're still working on it.
Sure. Okay, so what are the big value catalysts for Valens Grow going into the next 12 months?
The big catalyst is obviously our last licensed producer status. Obviously, when concentrates and edibles and beverages come online is a huge one for us, especially because where we are. Also getting a footprint out east, I think that's big for us to service the market here. And we, yeah, I can't say too much more on that because I don't want to get myself in trouble, but we will be bringing a footprint to the Ontario area.
Very cool. Okay, well, we'll leave it there for now, and we'll come back to you in a quarter's time and see how you progress. Thanks for joining me today.
Perfect, appreciate it. Thanks, James.